Welcome, and thank you for taking some time to learn more about presenting at the Public Safety Conference. My name is Katie Myers, your current chapter president and longtime chapter member. We'll be joined today by Cassandra Deering, our conference training committee chair, and we'll go through why you should consider presenting at conference, tips for filling out the call for papers, and then what to do to prepare for presenting at conference. Later, we're going to have a fun interview with Jamie Hoppin from King County 911, where she shares her insights into presenting at conference. So let's get started.
So one of the things we want to talk about is you are good enough to come and train and talk to us and have a discussion at conference about something that you're excited about. You don't have to be a professor. You don't have to have a doctorate in adult education. You don't even have to be a current trainer at your agency. What you do have to be is engaged and energetic and interested in sharing something that's really important to you. So find a topic that you like, that you want to know more about, and go find out about it, and then come and share what you learned with us. So you don't even have to have a previous history of presenting. We're okay with this being your first time. If you're interested in doing it, you have a good topic, you've done your homework, then we really want you to think about sharing with us. One of the things that you can do is once you're selected, you just got to practice and prepare and get ready. So what I say is stop ruminating about it, take some action, show up and be authentic, and you're going to do a great job. Okay, so please take a couple minutes now and follow this YouTube link. You can take a picture of it with your phone to take you there. You can type it in or go to YouTube, search for WAAPCO NENA, and look for the video titled Presenting at Conference. This is an interview with Jamie Hoppin, who presented a really great topic for discussion at our 2022 conference and had really great reviews. She has some really insightful information to share with you. And then come back here when you're done and we'll go over the rest of our presentation. All right, so hopefully you've been convinced that you should fill out a call for papers, and we want to make sure that you're successful with this project. So what do you want to do? You want to go to the call for papers. There's a post on our website where you can see what the questions are. And we'll do a first review on May 1st, and then a second final review for any open slots on June 1st. So technically you have until June or May, the end of May, to submit, but do it as soon as you can so that we can see you early on and confirm our schedule and see and select you. When you're filling out your call for papers, think about the different tracks. We're going to have technology track, a supervisor, and a leadership track, and we'll have two separate telecommunicator tracks, and as well as a miscellaneous kind of catch-all track where you can put in time or topics for training, peer support, maybe wellness, health and wellness, or any other topic of interest that you think would be relevant to our public safety telecommunicators. So when you're filling out your application or your call for papers, make sure to note there is a new requirement this year, and that is for you as an instructor to include some kind of attendee takeaways. Our goal with this is that many PSAPs are not able to send as many folks as they used to be able to because of overtime. And so we really want to ramp up the usefulness of them sending the people that they are sending to conference. So to make this very beneficial, we want our classes to have key takeaways, and that way the attendees can take back information to their PSAPs and share that with the folks that were unable to attend. So think about that. What are the takeaways and how can you incorporate that into your presentation? Fill out that call for papers, send it to training@waapconena.org, and then you'll be notified about selection.
Okay, so you filled out your call for papers, you took the leap, and now you've been selected. What should you do next? Make sure that you connect with us at training@waapconena.org if you have questions or you'd like to clarify some information. We're here to help you be successful. The conference training committee will send you the exact date and time and the room assignment for your class once the full schedule is confirmed. It does take some time to do that just because there's so many classes and we need to make sure that everybody's accommodated appropriately. So you will receive that information. They'll also coordinate with you to do any session recordings. One of the things our chapter is working really hard on doing is bringing these conferences to the other members and other PSAPs for folks who are unable to attend. So we're working on doing recordings of our sessions. We will have practice sessions available so that we can work through any technical issues and you'll be very comfortable with what that looks like long before the conference actually shows up. Make sure you settle on some specific information so we can include it in the conference information that's sent out and published on the website. We need to know your final class title and a tagline if you have one. What's the description of your class and what takeaways can attendees expect from your class, from attending your class? As we mentioned before, the chapter is really working on making these classes more accessible to those who can't attend conference. And we're doing class session recordings as one, but also we're really focusing in on these classes having some sort of key takeaways so those who attend your class can take information and share it back with the rest of their folks at their PSAP. So make sure that you include that information. What can they expect to take away from your class, along with a description of the class? Include a biography so we know who you are, what's your history, what's your interest, where and why did you want to be involved in the presentation in this particular topic. And then you can include a picture because everybody loves to see pictures of folks. I know not everybody likes to share pictures. I don't either, but I do anyway because it's nice. So, how do you prepare your presentation? If you've already done presentations before, then this might all be review and extra, and that's great. I find that it's really helpful if I'm going to have to do a presentation that I kind of remind myself and review some trainings and key tips for doing the presentation. So that's okay. As I mentioned, the new concept that we're working on is the takeaway process, right? Most agencies don't have staffing to cover and send several people to conference. So we want to make the most out of that experience and help those who can come to class take that stuff back to their PSAP. So think about building those key takeaways into your presentation. If you send us your files and your takeaway files, we will share those through our conference website so folks will be able to download them. The deadline to send that to us so we can publish it is October 13th. That's the Friday before conference. So we're giving you plenty of time to put that information together. One way that you can think about your presentation and putting that together is this framework called AIM. A means audience. Who is your audience? I is intent. What should your audience or what do you want your audience to do? And then M, your message. How should you craft your message? And we'll go into these a few more in depth here. So for your audience, who is your audience? What do you want them to hear? What do they want to hear? What do you need them to hear? What kind of challenges are they facing, right? Think about those kinds of things. In the state of Washington, PSAPs are vast and different. So small, rural, some are big cities, some are big consolidated ones. There's others that aren't. So think about the fact that not every person that will be there will be from a center exactly like yours. The state office did a cost study for 2021, and that has an appendix that has descriptions of a whole bunch of PSAPs across the state. There's a link here, a QR code here if you'd like to go check that out and help you kind of learn more about what the PSAPs look like across the state. And then on the right side of this slide, we also have a link to a podcast. And this one's all about effective communication. Start with this, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's the audience. So it's a quick podcast that you would be good to bone up on and listen to and just kind of review while you're planning your session. The I in AIM is intent. So what is your intent? Why are you presenting this topic? What do you want the audience to do with this information? Or what kind of action do you want them to take when they get back? Think about these takeaways when you're thinking about intent. And then the last part is message. So how do you craft a message that comes across really well? There is a lot of information out there on how to craft a good message. Here's a couple of things that are available to you. One is how to tell your story for impact, and it has some more other good information in it. And then there's that podcast, the Think Fast, Talk Smart podcast, which I've been listening to. I found it to be really interesting. And this is kind of help to simplify complicated and complex messages so that people that attend won't get lost in too much information and they'll get the takeaways that you want them to. All right, conference is approaching. Have you added the class survey information to your presentation? The training committee will send you a slide to add to the very end of your presentation, and that will have a link to your class survey. And so make sure that you add that to the end of your presentation. Finalize that presentation, your handouts, your takeaways, and then send them to us. Reminder, October 13th or the Friday before conference, send those to us so that we can get them posted and made available to folks who attend your class. And build up your confidence. Confidence doesn't just come innately to people. Like Jamie mentioned before, we're introverts. So speaking in front of people doesn't come naturally to us. We have to build our confidence in order to be able to do that. So with that, preparation and practice is absolutely key to building your confidence. And remind yourself you're doing this to help others and to share your knowledge and to help people learn more about this topic and do better in the work that they do that's so important. It's really a great thing for you to share your stories and your knowledge, and we're really grateful that you're willing to do that. So make sure to set up a time to practice with session recordings. We don't want it to be a last-minute stressor for you. So if you haven't practiced yet with our session recordings, reach out to the training group and we'll set that up for you. That's the training@waapconina.org. Okay, it's time. Conference is here. So when you're packing up, make sure to bring a computer that will play your PowerPoint or the presentation in the format you want. Bring a printed copy of your presentation because technology can fail. And if all else fails, you'll have a printed copy of your presentation so you'll still be able to fully complete the class. Bring a digital copy of your presentation. That way, for whatever reason, you'll have it available, and we can also use it to post if you haven't yet given it to us. Check in at the registration desk when you get to conference. You will know what room you're in, so go take a peek at your room. It's really helpful to know this is where my room is, this is what it looks like, this is everything that's going to be available to me. When you do have your class, there will be somebody available to give you some technical support. So if there's problems, we will have someone there to help you. But get there early so you can set up, and then you don't have to worry about that part. There is class proctors. So for every class, we have somebody who will start the class. They hand out tickets at the beginning for people who showed up on time to your class. They begin the class and introduce you and make any announcements that need to be made. And then those folks stay in the room. At the end of the class, they give tickets again to folks who stayed at the class for the full class time. So your proctor can help you also if you need anything. Really, it's all about you've done all your prep work, and now it's time to enjoy yourself. And remember to share your messages and be authentic and be engaging. We really appreciate you taking the time, the energy, and coming to conference and doing a presentation. And I look forward to meeting you and seeing you at conference.